Hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, B.A.S.S Fishing. How's everybody doing? Alright, so today I thought I'd shoot a video that recently experienced this situation. We talked about it the other night in our B.A.S.S Nation directors meeting. Okay, so I want to talk about the future of Bass Nation. Okay, Bassmaster, of course, has a division, if you will, that they call the Nation. Okay, so Bassmaster as we know it, we're all familiar with that. You know, the TV show, the history, you know, the website. You know, we all know that. Okay, so what Bassmaster offers, you know, in addition to many things, to the sport, really, we owe the sport to Ray Scott and Bassmaster. Okay, so Bassmaster Elite Series, Bassmaster Opens used to be the Invitationals. There's the Nation, there's the College Series, there's high school, you know, and that's basically, you know, the buckets, if you will, of the series of tournaments that they have, okay, to offer. So Bass Nation, you know, I'm a member of Bass Nation. Currently fishing Bass Nation. Okay, so to give you a little history, you know, again, this is my perspective. Okay, you know, the Elite Series is hotter than ever. Okay, I fished on the Elite Series, qualified for it in 2008 from the Central Opens. Prior to that, you know, I'd fished, you know, if you watched any of the videos, you know, started out of the Invitationals in the mid-90s, before they were the Opens. You know, had qualified a couple times for the BP Top 150 series, chose not to do it, finally accepted the invitation in 2008 to fish the Elite Series that started in 06, okay? So, hotter, you know, just exciting. They got a great product there. Obviously, a huge return on investment for Bass. And then they got the Opens, which is a qualifying series to get into the Opens. Excuse me, to get into the Elite Series. Hottest trail that there is, really. Most competitive, and I'm going to do a separate video on that, I feel. You know, and then Bass Nation. We have the College Series, we have the High School Series. So, High School Series, start there, I guess. Just crazy popular. They had 500 boats at the National Championship, you know, this past year, which I believe was held on Kentucky Lake. Maybe wrong, might have been Pickwick, but I think it was Kentucky Lake. 500 boats. They've since made a change to, you know, limit that a little bit. They're going to take one team per state. So we'll see what that does to the numbers. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to run it, but great. Just my point is, it's extremely popular. Okay, we've been preaching for years. You know, grow the sport, the future of the sport, the youth, and it's worked. Okay, it's worked. So a lot of young people getting involved in the sport, which is what we want to see for sure. Then of course, you know, they go up into the College Series, and we've seen that become very successful, and actually have college anglers and college champions fishing at the elite level now. Currently, you know, fishing the Opens, Elite Series, that next step. Extremely popular, that it's a collegiate sport, and it's really taken off. Okay, so Bass gets a great return on that. And you know, then you have the Nation. Okay, the Nation historically has been made up of clubs. Okay, it used to be called the Federation years ago. Mass had 800 something members before FLW, and they call it the Split. Okay, so since then, and that same division in FLW, now MLF, is also struggling, okay, to find their identity. You know, there's so many other trails, you know, ABA and BFLs, and it just, and so many tournaments now, and I'm going to do a video on that as well. The return on investment for Bass, I don't think is there for the nation. And they're trying to make it, you know, Bass is a for-profit business, okay? So you got to understand that. So the return on investment is very important, okay? And the tie-in with sponsors is also very important, okay? So they've made a major change this year. We talked about it a little bit. Gone away is the regionals and nationals as we know it. We fished the last true regional, here on the Potomac River this past summer. So going forward, they're going to have qualifiers, okay? So that they want to have 250 boat tournaments, 4 or 5 different areas of the country, okay? I think 4. So 250 boats. And the top 20 will go to the nationals, because the nationals now, was like a 50-some-odd angler field. That's also going to balloon out to a much bigger tournament. This is all to appease the sponsors, okay, which are good for Bass, which are good for the sport, good for all of us. So Bass is trying to, make the product better, make Bass Nation a better product, okay? It's not being that well received at this time, okay, because it's basically guys liked the regional, they'd like the club aspect where you had to compete. I come from the club where you had to compete just to go to the state championship. They called it the fish-offs back then, just for the right to go there, to make the state team. And it was a big deal, and I've been fortunate, blessed to be on a number of teams, okay, and with a lot of great anglers from this local Massachusetts area. It's all changed, okay, so change is always met with a little bit of pushback, and, what's that saying, the only constant is change, so, that being said, Bass still offers, the Bass Nation is still a great place to be, to compete. If you're looking for, low cost, high value tournaments, good competition, Bass Nation is a great place to do it. So, a little bit about Mass Bass Nation. Okay, so Mass Bass Nation, what do they offer? And most other states are the same, but Mass Bass is a little different because we have several different products within Mass Bass Nation, okay? So first and foremost, you get insurance, okay? You're fishing, you're involved in a tournament for Mass Bass Nation, you're covered under Bassmaster insurance, okay? So that's a big deal, okay? So you get all that publicity of that too, with websites, social media, of course, Bassmaster.com. The trails that we offer. Okay, so we'll start with the Pro-Am. So Mass, unlike a lot of other states, we have a Pro-Am trail, which is a boater, non-boater format, which that's the format. Once you get past the local level, you're going to fish that format, okay? Boater, non-boater, blind draw tournament, okay? That's the way Bass has always done it. That was Ray Scott's vision. It kept everybody, a lot like golf. It kept everybody, honest. You have somebody in the boat that's observing you. You're observing them. There's no rule infractions, or if there are, then they're reported. It's noted. So it keeps everything on the up and up on a professional level. Let me take a drink. So. Pro-Am trail, boater against non-boater. The boaters fish against the boaters, non-boaters fish against non-boaters. Boater has a 5 bass limit, non-boater has a 3 bass limit, just like Bass Opens, okay? So it's kind of priming you to get to that next level, okay? So the Pro-Ams, we have 5 qualifying events this year with the TOC. Top percentage, usually top 5 boats. We can fish, and this is important to mention, 24 boats is a full field because we don't have big bodies of water, okay? The Pro-Ams typically take place in the state of Massachusetts. So it's a 24 boat limit. We can go 25 or more if we have a EPO officer. Okay, so we try to stick to that 24. Okay, so the payouts are good. You know, it's a good entry fee. I mean, it's not cheap, and it's not expensive. Okay, I feel it's just right. Okay, and we pay Big Bass as well. The Pro-Am Trail, as I mentioned, the Pro-Am Trail leads to a national tournament. Okay, and possibly the Classic. Okay, so that's again, we have the Pro-Am, we have the Sunday Team Trail, leads to a national tournament, national event you qualify for, and the Classic. Okay, so the Sunday Team Trail, one less step than the Pro-Am Trail. Okay, so we have the Pro-Am Trail, we have a Sunday Team Trail. You go directly to a national from the competition here on the local water in Mass. We send a team right to the nationals, okay? And then you go to the Classic if you do well in that, okay? So then we have our midweek trail, which is a team trail. Counts towards those numbers as well for the team trail. And then of course, we have our youth and our high school event, okay, which again leads to a national event. Okay, so that's what Mass Bass Nation has to offer. Different clubs. If you're looking to get involved in the sport, you can join as a non-boater. You don't need a boat. It's short money, so you'll fish your local, in your local club. They have events. Some clubs are basically what they call paper clubs. They don't fish any tournaments. It's just a way to get to fish the bigger tournaments in the state. Okay, so if you join the club, actual club that fishes tournaments, you can, like I said, you can do that as a non-boater. Short money. You fish with different people all the time. You'll learn. That learning curve is going to really get flattened out for you because you'll learn from everybody that you fish with. So. And then you can move up to, when you get a boat, you can move up to, to be a boater and continue that journey. Okay, so that's what Mass Bass Nation's, all about. We have conservation, we do ramp cleanups, things like that. We're looking at, water quality, public access, all those things are addressed. Okay, so I started out with, the intent of this video was, what's the future of Bass Nation? I don't know. I don't think they've found their next place yet. This change that we're going through right now, from the regionals to these qualifiers, like I said, it's Bass's attempt to make it a bigger, better product for the sponsors. Some guys are, talking about how it's just a watered down open. You're going to spend $1,800, $2,000 an entry fee for an open. This is $400 for the boater, $200 for the non-boater to compete in this tournament. This year, it's on this first year for this format. The Northeast, this division, if you will, is on Lake Champlain in July. Okay, going to be a phenomenal event. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm all signed up and ready to fish that and see what this new direction, where it's going to take us. Okay, so the future of Bass Nation as a whole, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think they've found their next place to go, if they will, if they're going to stay, what they're going to do for a while. I don't know how this is going to go over. Time will tell. So I'm interested in your thoughts. Just, drop a comment. If you want to learn more about Bass Nation, if you're currently in Bass Nation and you like the change, currently in Bass Nation and you don't like the change, whatever it may be, we can certainly talk about it. I try to get back to every single comment. At this point, in the channel, I can do that. I'm going to try to do that no matter how big it grows, and I hope it grows really big, and that, is all up to you guys. I appreciate it. So, all right, so everybody have a great day, and we'll see you on the water here hopefully soon. Oh, also want to mention, we got coming up, okay, we have the show in Marlboro this year. All right, New England Fishing Expo is in Marlboro in early February. Okay, the 2nd, I believe, 2nd, 3rd, coming up. So check that out. All right, hopefully we'll see you there.